like to welcome you to the March 18th West Des Moines City Council meeting. Please join us for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so Ryan, since we have two present and one on the phone, are we just going to orally vote tonight?
No, we'll do the voting software.
All right.
Here.
All right, 2 members present in the chambers and 1 on the phone.
All right, Ryan, any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes, Your Honor.
Okay, can I get a motion?
Move approval of the agenda as distributed.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
Yes.
All right, item 2 is citizens forum, which is the time for anyone in the audience that would like to address the city council on any item that's not part of public hearings. Item 6 are new business, item 7. Like almost everyone's on spring break, but us. Item 3, mayor, city council, city manager reports. John, do you have any council report?
Yeah, just one thing I'll give you an update on. I talked about the program that CVB was putting together to help support kind of regional game changer projects where they would actually directly financially contribute to projects. One that potentially we would like to have be eligible would be the Recplex, for instance. And the way the original proposal was written, some of the smaller communities felt like they would never have a chance to have one of their projects fall within the category that would be big enough to receive funds. And so they've pushed back a little bit on that. So I think the staff down there is kind of back at the drawing board. A lot of the smaller communities have said, hey, why don't we just rebate back, whatever the CVB doesn't spend every year in terms of their budget. So set a budget, and then if we have excess funds over that, rebate that back. Well, of course, that's the very idea that West Des Moines had 3 or 4 years ago and fought pretty hard for and was unsuccessful getting them to do that. And so I guess I don't know what the next steps will be. I've said that it's likely that the city would be supportive of the direct investment into game changer projects like the new proposal was, or would be supportive of the rebate idea. But made pretty clear that status quo is not something that we're going to be supportive of. And so anyway, once I know more, I'll report on that. But we had a meeting last week in Des Moines and had several members, 2080 members there that kind of talked through the pros and cons of each approach.
Okay. Russ?
A couple of things. If this microphone's working or not. A couple of things. Number one, I'm the city's representative now on MAC, and we did have a discussion, a MAC subcommittee meeting, where we're looking at a model ordinance for the, regulation of Airbnbs and VRBOs. They're trying to come up with something that makes sense across the metro. Also, as the DART representative, we did approve the DART budget. I presented that last time, that we were looking at doing a budget that would mean an increase of 2.5 cents on the levy rate to be able to cover their costs. It's a pretty lean budget, adding some critical staff and taking care of basically a loss that we're having in Medicaid and a couple other things. So we approved that budget for DART at the last meeting. Moving on to F&A. F&A met March 6th, dealt with a number of items. I'll briefly touch upon a few of these. We're looking at the paving of Stagecoach Drive and how we can get that done from South 100th Street through Grand Prairie Parkway. The alignment of the road basically went through Kings Landing Plat 3 and chopped off a few of the lots there. And so we've been working for a number of weeks, I guess, maybe even months, with the developers there to try to make that situation right and still get the road paved and The agreement that we came up with is essentially that they're losing approximately $300,000 with the alignment of our road, and our road has to go through there. We are essentially, the city, going to take the paving of, I believe it's 800 linear feet of Stagecoach to compensate them for that, and they're going to be paying to move the water line. So I thought that was a fair deal that we came up with. I think we're still probably working through some of the ins and outs of that agreement. We approved an economic development incentive for Project LEAF. It is a company proposing to construct an 80,000 square foot office building. I believe they're currently located in West Des Moines. They're going to be retaining 150 jobs, and they're going to be creating another 25 jobs within a 5-year time frame. And the construction project is estimated to be about $20 million. It will be in the intersections of Veterans Parkway and Willow Creek Drive, formerly Army Post Road. A couple other items of note: we're going to be doing 2019 bond issuances, going to be issuing quite a number of bonds here before June 30 and a little bit after June 30 as well. Basically, fiscal year 20, we will have issued about $55.6 million in bonds for various construction projects, infrastructure projects, which is pretty significant. We also recommended the extension, which is on the agenda tonight, with the contract with Dave Lyons. We've had a great relationship with him, and he's helped us out considerably for our broadband project, as well as a number of other projects that we've had in the city. He's been a great asset, so we recommended extending that for another 6 quarters, I believe, maximum of 6 quarters, $15,000 a quarter. And that is my report.
Okay, Renee.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to take a moment to congratulate the West Des Moines Chamber for a very successful annual chamber dinner. It was a great, wonderful speaker, very inspiring, and also very good attendance. So I've gone to several of the municipal chamber dinners, and of course, I'm partial to the West Des Moines one. It's very well done, so congratulations. And please pass that on to Carol Chambers. Then I also served as a judge for the West Des Moines Citizen of the Year. So more on that later, not prepared to announce that, but certainly got to review some of those nominations, and certainly would encourage for next year us to dig a little deeper and to really spread the word out. There's a lot of great things going on in West Des Moines, probably a lot of deserving citizens. So I'd like to see that be very robust next year. But I had the pleasure of reading some really neat applications. And the West Des Moines Human Rights, I'm the liaison to that. They are continuing their strategic planning process. There's a consultant that's working with them on defining their role, what we want to do, what the impact is. I think we're going to like the report that's put together at the very end. But they are really giving of their time to meet on 4 sessions to really get this right. So we have a new leader, a new chair, so it's an opportunity to really infuse some new direction and vision in what we do. So more on that a bit later. So then I have library trustee meeting on Thursday. Always look forward to visiting with my folks at the library about what's going on there.
Great. Okay, Tom?
No report, Your Honor.
All right, item 4, consent agenda. Any item on the consent agenda that any council member wants to pull? Otherwise, I take a motion
I
for
would
all of
move
them.
approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
All right, item 5, old business, 5A, amendment to City Code, Title 7, Public Ways and Property, Chapter 8, Sewer Regulations, Article F, Industrial Waste, revisions to fats, oils, and grease regulations. City initiated. This is an ordinance for the second, third reading, final adoption. There are no changes from the first reading.
Move consideration of the second reading.
Second.
Any other questions or comments?
I would just say what I said last time. We appreciate the slight change that they made here, and we're going to keep pushing for additional changes that we feel need to be made. But this is definitely a step in the right direction.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes, an ordinance amending City Code, City of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2014 by amending Title 7, Public Ways and Property, Chapter 8F, Industrial Waste.
Move approval of the second reading.
Second?
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
John, can you hear me? My mic is a little bit low.
I can hear you great. Yeah.
Okay. With that, I would just move the waiver of the third reading and adoption in final form.
All right.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
All right, 5B, recodification of the West Des Moines City Code, city initiated. This is an ordinance as well for the second, third reading, final adoption. There are no changes from the first reading.
Move consideration of the second reading.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes. Ordinance adopting the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2019.
Move approval of the second reading.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
Move waiver of the third reading and adoption in final form.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
Item 6, public hearings. Item 6A, the council is being asked to continue this to the April 1st council meeting.
Move continuation to the April 1st meeting.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
Item 6B, council is being asked to defer this so that it can go before Planning and Zoning Commission first.
Move deferral of item 6B.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6C, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider 1525 Grand Urban Renewal Area initiated by the City of West Des Moines. This is continued from the February 19, 2019 West Des Moines City Council meeting. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
February 8th, 2019 in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
Right now would be the time for anyone in the audience that would like to address the City Council on item 6C. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We have a resolution and an ordinance which we need to take separate, and the council communication indicates that there are no outstanding issues. And this was also recommended by Finance and Administration City Council Subcommittee. So,
Move approval of the resolution.
Second.
questions or comments on the resolution?
I just think this is a great project. It's really going to be a great improvement to the area, very welcome improvement to the area, and I'm excited to see it get completed.
Yes. Okay, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
All right, we need an ordinance for the first
Move
reading.
consideration of the first reading.
Second.
All right, questions or comments on the ordinance? All right, please vote.
Aye.
An ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the 1525 Grand Urban Renewal Area pursuant to Section 40319 of the Code of Iowa.
Move approval of the first reading.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6D, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider 8300 Mill Civic Parkway Urban Renewal Area initiated by the City of West Des Moines. This was continued from the March 4th, 2019 City Council meeting. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
February 22nd, 2019 in the Des Moines Register.
Have you received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the City Council on item 6D. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Again, we have a resolution and ordinance which we need to take separately.
Move approval of the resolution.
Second.
Questions or comments on the resolution?
I just want to say, I think this is a great economic development incentive that we put together because it's a great company and we're keeping them in West Des Moines. It's going to be about 600 jobs that we're keeping here in addition to an additional 200 jobs in the future. They're a great corporate citizen, and we were in competition with a number of other cities in the metro for salmons. And I am very pleased that we are going to be able to keep them here and growing in the city of West Des Moines. So,
Yeah, and you know, we have been working with the partnership on updating and getting all the cities to sign the fair play agreement, which I'm
Yeah.
hoping we're going to get to, because this is another example of
Yep.
having to provide incentives that we shouldn't have to just because other
Agreed.
cities are willing to do something. So, you know, I just asked Tom before the meeting tonight. I mean, we've done our share of trying to get the agreement down to the partnership, so we're going to try to push a little harder. But Yeah, it's a great company, and obviously we don't want to lose them from West Des Moines, so we're happy they're
Right.
staying.
Yeah, I'm hopeful we can, I mean, we've been pushing and pushing on that fair play agreement, and the other metro cities don't seem to want to engage in that. And it is sad because we were in competition with a couple other metro cities here that it was fierce competition, and this would have meant 600 jobs that we'd be losing from our city just like that. And like I said, they're going to be expanding, have another 200 jobs over the, I think, next 5 to 10 years. And, you know, this really wasn't something that we could take a chance on. It wasn't a company we could afford to lose in this city. And, you know, they are good, high-paying jobs. And like I said, it's a great company. I do hope that they will continue to listen to what we are saying on this fair play agreement so that we're not continuing to compete against each other like this. And have people try to steal each other's businesses. And I don't know what more we can do, but we'll keep pushing. So,
Okay, please vote on the resolution.
Aye.
3 yes.
moves consideration of the first reading.
Second.
All right, any questions or comments on the ordinance? All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes, an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the 8300 Mill Civic Parkway urban renewal area pursuant to section 40319 of the Code of Iowa.
Move approval of the first reading.
Second.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6E, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider agreement for private development initiated by Salmons Financial Group, Inc. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 8th, 2019 in the Des Moines
Have
Register.
received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
Right now would be the time for anyone in the audience who'd like to address the city council on item 6E. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. This is a resolution to approve the development agreement, and there are no outstanding issues.
Move approval of the development agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other questions or comments?
Well, I do want to thank Clyde Evans and his Economic Development Department and others in the city who worked really hard as we are competing to save salmons and keep them here. And the project that they put together for us, as well as, you know, the legal team, the finance team that helped negotiate all the ins and outs of this development agreement. So thank you to everybody for all your hard work, and glad that we could keep them here.
All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6F, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider the agreement for private development initiated by the Foundry, DSM LLC, and Justice League of Food. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 8th, 2019 in the Des Moines Register.
Received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on item 6F. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We have a resolution to approve the agreement.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6G, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Southwest 60th Street Phase 1, Veterans Parkway South, initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 8th, 2019 in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on item 6G. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We have 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together, and we had 6 bids, and the low bid was well under the estimate.
Move approval of the resolutions and the motion.
Second.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6H, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Ashworth Road reconstruction I-80 bridge to 98th Street, initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 8th, 2019 in the Des Moines Register.
Have we received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on item 6H. Okay, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We have 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together, and We also got 6 bids on this project.
Move approval.
Second.
There's a second. Other questions or comments? I would note for our residents that the city of Waukese agreed to reimburse the city of West Des Moines for a portion of this project because it benefits Waukese. So our staffs are in the process of finalizing that, but we appreciate Waukese's acknowledgement of the benefit of this project to their community and their willingness to pay part
Yeah.
of the cost.
Yeah, definitely. I know this will be a big deal over in John's neck of the woods in the second ward with alleviating, some of the traffic and congestion, I think, in that area that we've heard so much about. So this will be nice to get this project underway.
Okay, please vote on
Yeah,
6.
definitely.
Yep.
Aye.
3 yes.
6I, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider Hidden Point Park improvements initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 8th, 2019, the Des Moines Register.
Received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on item 6I. Okay, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Again, we have 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments?
I think it's going to be a nice little park just north of Pheasant Ridge, and I hope that the Pheasant Ridge homeowners end up using this and enjoying it. I know they were not exactly thrilled about this park initially, but I think it's going to be a nice park when it's all said and done.
Okay, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
6J, this is the time and place for a public hearing to consider the 2018 Stormwater Intake Repair Program initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 8th, 2019, the Des Moines Register.
Have you received any written comments?
None, Your Honor.
All right, now would be the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the city council on item 6J. All right, seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Again, we have 2 resolutions and a motion which we can take together.
Move approval.
Second.
Questions or comments? All right, please vote.
Aye.
3 yes.
Item 7, new business 7A, West Des Moines Waterworks Administration Building, 1505 Railroad Avenue, construction of a 7,000 square foot office building. West Des Moines Waterworks, it's a resolution of approval of the major modification. There are no outstanding issues.
Move approval of the major modification.
Second.
Questions or comments?
John, thanks for joining us, man.
All right, please vote on 7A.
No problem. Aye.
3 yes.
Okay, item 8, there are no items to receive, file, and/or refer. Item 9, other matters. 9A, legislative updates. Jamie?
Manager, to be brief, the only piece of major interest last week was House Study Bill 165 that has an amendment attached to it. I attended that subcommittee meeting, but no city managers testified. The amendment, which I can email out to folks, essentially limits growth to 2% and then has a list of unassigned ending fund balances. So we would have to fund things like insurance, IPERS, 411, municipal fire and police, all from our general fund instead of trust and agency levy, which currently has no levy limit. It would be a change for West Des Moines. The only bright side is that the Senate has not yet gotten their bill done. So
Okay.
we'll wait and see.
Okay. Any other questions for Jamie on legislative updates? All right, thank you. Any other matters that any council member wants to raise? Okay, if not, we're adjourned.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks,
You
John.
too.
Thanks, John.
Enjoy your spring break.